My check 1 2 1 2. We're putting live from Money here in Mount Vernon. We bring to you the Nothing But Love podcast show. I go by the name of Moneymike.
I go by Mainovent.
And today we got a special guest, special friends of the show, Money here in Mount Vernon, iconic public figure in the town. He does a lot for the town. We're going to dive right into that. We have David Clarke today.
Yes, Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay, Dave. So, tell the people, you know what I'm saying, like, where you from and basically, high school, stuff like that.
All right, so, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised in Mount Vernon.
Okay.
All my life, Mount Vernon Hospital. My mom's was a nurse there. She probably delivered half the town.
Yeah. No, that's right.
When the hospital had labor and delivery, she worked there. When the hospital had pediatrics, so I'm old
Mount Vernon, for real.
74.
Okay. Got you. Okay, that's what's up.
So basically, you went to like the elementary schools and
so elementary, I went to Longfellow. They changed it now. That's Rebecca Turner. From there, I went to Mount St. Michael for middle school till 9th grade, and then 9th grade came to the high school from 10th to.
Okay, so like basically in your early years, when did you like realize that you wanted to become more into like community activists and being helping the community and doing things that you do now?
I mean, honestly, the first time that it ever happened, a lot of people don't know this story, but it was with my pops.
Okay.
Because Longfellow back in the days, Longfellow never had an auditorium.
Okay, and Longfellow being the middle school.
The elementary schools that I went to. When we used to do everything was in that small. We had like this small library. It just had a stage, and my pops is the one who, I was at a young age. I probably was like in 3rd grade.
Okay.
And he would be going to the Board of Ed. Like, my pops is a super activist in the city, so he was advocating for it. And he would bring me to the board meetings with him and make me read letters on why Longfellow needed an auditorium.
That's dope.
So that happened, and fast forward, I go to Mount St. Michael once I graduate and all of that. Long story short, they used a lot of the notes or the records from the Board of Ed, and a lot of it was from me as a young kid advocating for it. Okay. And then I think when I was in middle school, then the auditorium was built. So that was like one of the first times, like my father, just like throwing me into it, and me not really knowing what it was going to do.
So you basically come from a line of people. I mean, your parents that cared about the city, cared about the town, and it just extended on to you.
I come from a family of service. Like I said, my mom was a nurse at Mount Vernon Hospital 44 years. Right. My pops was a head organizer for 1199 for unions, always fighting for people. Right. And then he did 25 plus years as a head custodian in the school district and the Board of Ed. Okay. And then you got me in police service, and then even my sister, she's retired. She ended up she was at NYPD. She had an injury, retired early, so we kind of come from a service background-oriented family.
Okay, so then at that point, you say you're coming out of high school, and just in the town or whatever. So when did you like really realize that you wanted to go into law enforcement?
I definitely wasn't the kid ever that, this was the career that I wanted to jump into. I thought I was going to be a trainer, a strength trainer of some sort, because that's what I went to college for. Okay. So I thought I was going to be
what college was that?
Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. And then I / Norfolk State.
What was your GPA?
My GPA was like a 3.6.
Okay.
3.64.
Okay, Dave Clarke is smart.
Wait.
Okay,
hold on.
very smart.
Let him know.
Yes.
Let him know.
I want to step in.
What's up?
Smart guy.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, he was in humanities.
That's why I asked him that.
So we're gonna get down to the business with this guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, humanities don't get fooled. Like, it's cool to be smart.
Yeah, true story. Absolutely.
Cool,
Absolutely.
That was always kind of my thing. Like, I got over on both ends because I was smart, but then I was also able to maneuver in different rooms.
Right. So you said the college, and then you said what motivated you so you was continuing?
So I was never really like this path that I'm on. I guess it kind of got chosen for me. So in in 2000, that's when I lost my brother to gun violence. And,
Okay.
You know, at that time, 3 days before I graduated college in '97, my daughter was born. I gotta say that because I was working like a maniac right out of college. Because 3 days before I graduate, she's born. I gotta take care of somebody more important than me.
Okay.
Right out the gate, I had like 4 jobs. I was working at Children's Village in the morning, working at Abbott House, which is a group home, in the evening time.
I'm familiar with that.
Working with the city of Mount Vernon, teaching aerobics at the Armory, like 3 days a week. So I would pack all the kids up that was on good behavior in the group home, bring them down to the Armory. That's when they had like a little weight room. I'll let them go in the weight room. My daughter would be in the car seat with me. I have her on the stage, and I'll be teaching aerobics to the females upstairs in the Armory.
Okay.
And then on the weekends, if everybody remembers Raymond Jewelers, that used to be on
right
First
there.
Street.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I worked at Raymond Jewelers since I was 13 years old until I turned maybe about, even before I became a police officer.
Yeah, my mother used to always go and get her jewelry clean from Raymond.
Yeah, so I was.
Been there forever.
I started. That was one of my dad's old poker friends.
Okay.
Jerry Raymond, who owned it. So he asked me for it. I was actually working there before you're supposed to legally be working or whatever. So that's how I kind of know the jewelry game a little bit. And also I was an apprentice as an engraver. But the hand joint, but now they got the computers, so you just type in stuff and it engraves everything.
So basically, the gun violence, well, you know, is what propelled you. The loss of your brother propelled you into being a police officer. And so when did you become a police officer?
I became a police officer in 2005. So what happened after 2000? People, you know, my brother's homicide was in Mount Vernon. We all know we from the town.
Right. Yes.
My brother's homicide was one of the quickest homicides ever solved. I will say that in regards to Mount Vernon police, because especially the time when we was back then, you know, it was open homicides. People didn't, like my brother's homicide was solved within hours of his death. So, you know, it's not like Law and Order. That shows an hour where homicide happens, they catch the person, they go to court, and everything is complete. Right. And that's not the reality. The reality is my brother's homicide trial went on for a couple of years. So that's a lot of pain for the family, reliving, seeing your family member in their last moments on video, showing pictures. But the district attorney at the time, his name is Bob Prisco. He's actually a judge now. He was concerned about me because he knew I had, like I said, I had them 4 jobs. And I'm running from one job to the next, one to the next, one to the next. Right. And then in between, whenever there's a court case, I'm going to court for my brother's trial. And while I'm in the court, I can't even keep my eyes open because I've been working so much. So he's the one that, he had a conversation with the family because if you go through a homicide trial, unfortunately for anybody, if you have to face that, you're going to become very, very close to the district attorney who is doing the prosecutors who's handling your case. Right. They become attached to your family. They learn you because they're working for you. Right. So he became a guy, he became concerned, and one day he sat down and he talked to me. He's like, listen, kid, I see you come in. I know you're working. You're trying to do these things for your daughter, but, you know, you need a career. At the time, I was making good money, so I thought, because you got 4 jobs, but I didn't have no life. Right.
That's a lot, 4 jobs, crazy.
It was
soaking up all your time.
Soaking up all my time. My daughter, her beginning years, she was raised in the group home with me. So, because, you know, I would go to work at Children's Village, pick her up, and when I worked in the evening time, she was with me. Like, those kids helped me raise my daughter in the group home in the beginning years. And then once they went to bed, I would take her home. Like, I had it. It was just perfect. It was
structured good.
It was just perfect timing at the time. How job allowed me to even be able to do all of those things. But he was concerned, and he just kept talking about a career and, you know, you need to find something and, you know, maybe take the sanitation test, the fireman's test,
Okay. Really pushed that on you.
Or the police test.
And this is the district attorney.
Yeah, this was the district attorney at the time. And
That's
even,
dope.
I mean, my father had conversations, but this was the district attorney actually really locking
Really pushing
in,
it. Yeah.
like, with concern, because he
dope.
just saw it.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I brushed it off a little bit. And then one day, there was one day where I'm not sure if he bought lunch or whatever, and he was like, I'm willing to pay for the tests or whatever. And
Oh, that was dope.
that happened.
Okay.
So let me ask this. So I know with these police tests, back then, you had to have like 60 credits back then.
That was for
Right?
NYPD.
Oh, that wasn't for
Mount
Westchester.
Yeah, Mount Vernon
Just had to
has
have high
always
school.
been high school GED.
Oh, really?
Only Mount Vernon Police has
Oh,
always
wow.
been like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
They were trying to enforce that a few years ago, but that
Stick.
yeah,
Okay.
didn't
So
stick.
just get out of high school, you could become a cop, take the test, score high, you
Go
good.
high,
And then I
you
also
could
know,
get
like
in.
in New York City, if you're like a meter person, a meter maid or something, you can like do 2 years doing that and then just go.
Yeah, because you have experience and then you're already in their system. So
Right,
that's
right.
that's kind of how that works. So,
Okay.
I mean,
So you took the test.
So you took it?
not right away. I actually took the state troopers test first.
Okay.
That was the first one that I took.
Right.
And I was going through the entire process with the state trooper, but at the time, I wasn't responsible with my license.
Okay.
So I had tickets and speeding, and I was
state
right at
troopers
that
really
age,
strict. They
right? And
strict
I
on
was
every-
right at
yeah.
that edge.
That affected you from doing the state trooper? Really?
Yeah, so
they
so-
super strict.
So
for
what
state
happened was it was one day I'm racing home from the group home in White Plains to get home so I could get some rest, and I got pulled over. And this is kind of my last straw. This was the ticket that suspended my license. But in the passenger seat is my packet for the state troopers
Okay.
that I have to send to them and all of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
paperwork.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm pleading with this cop, like, please, I want to be a cop. I know, da 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 da. Long story short, went to court, back and forth. I go to Albany. I do the physical test, all of that stuff. I'm going through the background. And my background investigator's like, listen, man, you're going to have to get your license together. You can't be a cop and your license is not right. And
So they was looking at the points.
right. So my trial date was May 4th.
Okay.
The police academy at, I believe at the time, I think it was going to start in April, like April 29th, the end of April.
Right.
And I had a court date prior to that. And when I went, this cop, even the judge, I went with all my paperwork. The cop, he did not want to budge on it.
Wow.
And long story short, didn't work out. So that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth because I'm like, I took this test
Yeah.
trying
I'm going
to get
through
in,
all this.
going through all this,
Yeah.
and, so that was the first. That had to have happened probably 2002.
Okay.
So then after that, I took
The Mount Vernon.
the Mount Vernon fire test,
Okay.
and I was number 3
Wow.
on that with the
Yeah.
agility, and you know how that goes with Mount Vernon.
Yeah,
Some people, if you got political ties
Yeah,
to this person and that
yeah.
person,
Yeah.
I didn't have.
Because
none
you
of
definitely
that
was in
stuff.
shape, so you could
Yeah.
pass.
I was number 3.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
number 3 at the
yeah.
time on the list.
They still
And I never got hired with Mount Vernon Fire. So you know what?
Fire department, what's
Fire
going on
department,
with y'all? What's
y'all-
going
y'all
on?
lost out,
Hey,
man.
Clarke,
Yeah,
good
y'all
guy,
lost out,
man.
Fire department, y'all could have had some. Y'all could have had
what's up,
big guy
Ed?
over there,
Ed,
you
what's
know?
up,
Yeah,
Ed?
yeah.
Nah, I love the fire department. I
Yeah.
mess with everybody over there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So then I took the Mount Vernon test, and I actually took the NYPD test too at the same time. My sister and I, we actually took it on the same day,
Right.
down at Lehman College. Right. And I actually got through the whole process with NYPD, and I was supposed to
That.
start
Okay.
with NYPD.
Right.
And
I think I remember that story.
fortunately, me being Caribbean, Jamaican, and having 4 jobs,
Yeah.
that 4th job is what helped me working at Raymond Jewelers. Because I don't know if y'all remember, but Terry Rayner used to be the chief of police at Mount Vernon. Then he was the commissioner at one time, and now he's actually the police commissioner of Westchester County Police right now. Currently.
Okay.
So this is at a time I don't know what a chief looks like. I don't know none of that. But I'm in Raymond Jewelers. He walks in, 6'2", 4. Black dude, got his stuff together. He got the stars, all of that. And he comes in to get his watch battery done. And I'm taking to the back, and I'm doing the watch battery. And while he's there, I'm like, excuse me, sir. I don't know if you know, but I'm on the Mount Vernon list. I'm supposed to start with NYPD in 2 weeks. I said, do you know where they're at in the process, or if I'm possibly going to get called? And he didn't answer me. He didn't say a word. He's looking at jury, acting like he's ignoring me. He comes over, he pays, and then takes his watch, puts it on, and then he's walking out the door.
Right.
And as he gets to the door, he stops, and he turns around, and he's like, don't take the NYPD job. And then he turns around and just walks out the door. So now I'm kind of stuck, because I'm like, he didn't really tell me I got the job, but he's just telling me don't take this other job. So
and he knew you on the list for Mount Vernon.
He didn't. I don't think he knew. I brought it to him.
Okay.
I brought it to him. He didn't.
Okay.
I'm the one that I see a cop come in there. I'm going to shoot my shot.
Yeah, you go shoot your shot.
To try to see what's going on.
Right. So indirectly, he was telling you. Now that you look
now,
back.
Now that I look back,
okay.
He probably, in so many words. I mean, I still had to do the interview.
Yeah, of course.
And all of that stuff.
Yeah,
so he left. So now I'm stuck, because I'm like, yo, I got to make a decision. So I go home, I try to talk to my parents, like, yo, what you think I should do? What should I do? And they like, we're not making this decision for you. So then you could be like, we did this and this and that to you. We ruined your life. Changed your course.
Yeah.
So that Monday, I called my investigator from NYPD, and I just made up an excuse.
Okay.
They knew the situation that I had with my daughter, with childcare and all of that stuff, because they asked that while I was already going through the process. So I just played on that and asked them, could I possibly defer? And instead of going into this academy, could I go into the next academy?
Right. So, and that's being honest.
Yeah. So, but then now it's the waiting game.
Nothing's on the table.
Right. Nothing's on the table.
You're back doing the group homes and the 4
4
jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the end of June.
Yeah.
So now I know the academy for the Mount Vernon starts August 1st. So end of June, that's that week. That's the weekend that I saw Raina. And now first week, 4th of July week go by. Then the second week go by. Third week go by, now I'm nervous.
Right.
Because now we almost at the last week in July. The weekend is coming up, and I know now
the
class is coming up. So I get a call, though, for an interview within that week.
And what year is this now?
This is 2005.
Okay.
It's 2005, July 2005. Right. So I do the interview, which is, I mean, I never had an interview. Most jobs, I just fill out the application.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they call you
Manager comes out, he asks you 2 or 3 questions for whatever job you at. And back then, you just got the
police,
job.
The police process is extensive.
Oh, man. So I go into a room, and it's a table full, 7. It was either 6. I think it was 6 people, all white shirts, so captains, chiefs, lieutenants, and they just shooting. And
shooting questions.
Questions.
Okay.
Over and over, like, trying to rattle you. I mean, honestly, the funniest part is their main thing that they had with me at the time was, how was I gonna survive taking the pay cut?
Because, from the 4 jobs.
Because I have 4 jobs. Right. I was young, but not really. I was 29 at the time, but. I was making money. Okay. And because I worked at a group home, at a group home, I'm not buying food because we cooking food. Like, so certain things that you would normally be wasting money on, I never was. So that they kept harping. And at one point, Raina, the same guy, he just stepped in, and he was like, "All right, guys, enough." And then he was like, "I'm gonna just ask you one last question." He said, "Why you want to be a cop here?" And I remember my answer vividly. I said, I want to be a cop in Mount Vernon because I'm tired of seeing people that don't look like me, that are policing people in my city,
and don't live here,
and don't live here.
Right.
And he just looked back, and then after that, he was like, "All right, thank you for your time," and then I went out.
Okay.
So then. Now I'm nervous because that happens, and I know the academy's coming, and then that Friday before the academy starts.
And the academy's up in
Valhalla.
Valhalla, yeah, right.
Valhalla. You don't live there. You commute.
That's the same way the fire department is up there.
Yeah,
too.
the fire thing is up there too. So matter of fact, no, it wasn't the Friday. It was a Thursday. We get a knock at my parents' house on Kingsbridge late at night. And I actually I lived in the apartment on the second floor. I just happened to be downstairs at my parents'. And I don't know what we was doing. Got a knock. They went to my parents' house, and the two detectives that was there, they was doing a house check to see if I really lived there.
Right.
And I had to take them upstairs, show them my apartment.
Really?
Like, yeah, you gotta show them that
you got open book, open your life up, man.
And remember, I'm a resident, so residents get first preference, but they gotta. They
gotta
really
check it
know
out.
that you really.
Yeah, they vetting you.
Oh yeah, no, like
yeah.
They come, they open. Let me see your underwear. Let me see your socks. Like, do you really live here? Like, type go in the fridge. You got food. So pictures on the wall, all that stuff. So I mean, I lived. That's where I lived. So it was fine. So then I felt a little bit better, but then that week went by, and I was like, yo, what's going on?
Yeah, it wasn't solid.
Right, this joint, exactly. And then got a call the following week, and made us come in. We had to rush. We only had like 2 days to get all our equipment. You had to spend like $3,700 on everything, like rapidly, quick, and buy everything, go to the academy, and that's how I actually started.
And that's dope. And that's dope.
With Mount Vernon PD.
So you rocked out for like a few years doing that, like basically just a regular police officer. Like
yeah, you go to the academy. Academy's 5.5 months. Did that. Ended up winning the physical fitness award and the best overall recruit.
Yeah, that's what's up.
In the academy, with my classmates. But me going in the academy, I turned 30, so I was a lot older than most of the people in the academy. So I took it serious. Me and my sister Montika,
Shout out to Montika.
You know, we were like the oldest in there, so. We took things a little bit. I think
y'all was ready. Y'all was ready to go.
I think age,
sweatpants tied up. Y'all ready.
I think our age.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you ready to get busy.
To somebody 22, 23,
right,
it's different.
Right.
It's
so
different.
For us, we took it serious. And then you come to Mount Vernon, worked patrol for a couple of years, and then went to task force, which is like street crime.
But not to cut you off. So you said street patrol. Did you find it hard policing people that you knew in the beginning?
In the beginning, nah. I tell people that all the time. That I've had a tougher time being a police officer, having to deal with people inside the building than having to deal with people outside of the building that I work in.
Wow. You talking like the fellow officers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Different administration.
Okay.
That things have changed now, but when I came on, it was the good old boys.
Yeah.
Good old boys ran, and the good old boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right.
It's a different place now. It's a different time now. Things change. But as far as like, I always honestly, and I say it to people. I always felt like a superhero a little bit.
Right.
Because what better place? Growing up, like we grew up.
Yeah.
Right. I know your mother.
Right.
You know my mother. You know my pops. I know your pops.
True story.
You had your kids. So for me, like I remember one of my partners when I first was in the car with him, he used to get tight. Cause he'd be like, "Yo, who you think you are?" Every 5 minutes, "Yo, what's up, Dave? Yo, what's up, Dave?"
Right.
Like, but in the reality, of things, like
it made it easier for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It made it easier for me, but that's also what you want.
Yeah, for sure.
In your community.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you want people to know the cop. You want people to be able to
come to you and stuff like that.
So
you could diffuse stuff quicker
quicker
than the normal cop.
Right.
Absolutely.
So when did you realize that like you wanted to like do community service as far as like different things in the community, like, you know, you have the training for the police. What's this called? It's the police academy for the citizens.
The Citizen Police Academy. Mm-hmm. I mean, well, me doing stuff for the community, that's been since like 1998.
Oh, okay.
It was before
so you've been doing
policing.
that for right.
The PDC Foundation that I'm a part of with Brian Pritchett and Dana Doggett and Dave Clarke. That's the P, the D, and the C.
Okay.
Okay.
We was doing that like kind of like out of high school.
Right. And what exactly did that involve? Like, what were you doing?
First off, it started because we all play sports. So I played baseball.
Okay.
Went to school for that. Dana and Brian went to school for basketball. So kids was always like, yo, Coach Dave, Coach Brian. And it would start like, yo, Coach, I need sneakers. I need cleats. And we would just be buying them stuff. And then eventually we like, yo, let's do something. And then we started doing like brunches to raise money.
And how many kids did y'all start off with in that group that y'all did? Like, was it 10, 12?
Well, no. Well, first, like I said, it started off as we would do brunches, raise money, and then give out scholarships. Okay. And then it went
So was it a certain amount of kids or no? That's
no,
not
no,
how
no.
it
We would pick a senior from each of the high schools.
Oh, that's how y'all started. Okay,
Right,
gotcha.
Right,
that's
right,
how y'all came to the number.
Right.
Okay.
And that's how we started. So we started with brunches, then it moved to dinners.
Okay.
So we would raise more money, and then we would pick a kid from Mount Vernon High School. We would pick a kid from Denzel, Washington.
Okay.
And then we would pick another one, and then you had to meet the pillars. So your GPA had to be over 3.0. Okay. Right. You had to do community service.
Right.
Some form of physical fitness. It was like integrity. It was 4 pillars that we had. Okay. And once you met those, then people would write essays, and then we would pick, and we would do the scholarship.
Okay, that's dope.
Then we took it a little bit further because then, if you remember, we took kids out the country.
Well, I was going to touch on that.
Yeah.
Glad you brought that up. I want to give a big shout out to Brian Pritchett, Dana Doggett. Those my guys. And I remember when y'all took the kids to China.
Yeah, we took.
That was like super dope.
Yeah, we took kids to China.
How many kids was that?
7 times.
7 times y'all went to China?
We took kids to China 7 times, and we went to Japan once.
So that's dope. So how many kids each time y'all was taking? About
anywhere between 8 to 10. Wow. 8 to 10 kids. We would fundraise. Okay. Do fundraisers. The parents were heavily involved.
Yes.
And and we paid for 60% of the trip. The PDC Foundation. The parents only had to sponsor 40% of the trip.
Okay.
So that's what the fundraising was.
Got you.
I mean, we kind of have slowed down COVID, just different things. Dana moved.
Dana moved to
Maryland.
That time. He moved to Maryland.
Dr. Doggett, shout out
Dr.
to
Yes,
Dr.
Dana Doggett. See you, baby.
Doggett.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that right there just made you start with the police academy for the citizens, and then also with the youth police academy.
So what happened with that was when Barack Obama was in office.
Okay.
Barack Obama had the initiative, the 21st Century Policing.
Okay.
Where community policing was like a big push and a big initiative and stuff. And fortunately, at the time, I was lucky. I being at this job, I definitely would say I've been blessed. And at the time, I was asked to go to Washington, D.C. Okay. With the police commission at the time, Sean Harris.
And what year was this?
I want to say 2012, 13.
Yeah,
because he did a double.
Yeah, he did too.
Yeah. It was it might have been 2000.
Second term, right?
It was the second term.
Okay.
It was definitely the second term because that's when 21st Century.
Okay.
But they hold that thought. We got to pay some bills. We're going to come back to you with the Barack Obama story. Nothing But Love podcast. Stay tuned. My check 1 2 1 2. We back reporting live from Nothing But Love podcast show in Mount Vernon. So we're picking up where we left off. We was talking about the Barack Obama situation in D.C., right? Correct?
Yes.
So tell us about that.
So 21st Century Policing, that was an initiative set forth by Barack Obama for police departments across the country to, get involved, community policing. Remember, we had like the Mike Brown incident in St. Louis. It was different things that happened. So it was a way for police to start engaging with the community again.
Okay.
So fortunately, I was able to go down to Washington, D.C. with the commissioner at the time, Sean Harris, and retired Sergeant Jennifer Carpenter, and there was another co-worker. It was just the four of us. We went down there. Cool. And we met at the Capitol. They had like these meetings on community policing and what you're supposed to do when you go back to your communities and your departments and things of that nature. And in the morning time, when we were in there on the podium, there was just like a regular seal light, and it's just like United States. Y'all probably gonna laugh, but I used to watch that show Scandal. That used to be on Channel 7 with
Scandal? I heard of it.
With Kerry Washington.
Okay, yeah,
with Kerry Washington.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
And if you ever watch that show, when the podium, like when the president comes out, they change whatever seal is out there.
Okay.
So when we went to lunch, when we were there, it was just like a regular United States seal that's on the podium. Yeah. And when we came back from lunch, the seal said the President of the United States. Okay. So I'm in the
You
joint.
was like, it's real now.
Yeah, so I'm in the room now that we back, and Sean, Commissioner Harris, he like, yo, I think the president is here, and I'm like, yeah, word. He was like, Sergeant Carpenter at the time, she didn't know, so I'm like, yeah, I seen this on Scandal. When they do the press release, they change it.
They change it. So you're like, yo, he's coming. Barack is coming.
Now, like we hype. So then now we really get in the queue because now they like, everyone put your phones away. You know, no cell phones can be out.
Right. No pictures. Stuff like that.
Right. Then we all in the room. The normal people that speaking, nobody's in there. Now Secret Service comes in the room. It's more than one. They're surveying the room, checking. Now they all got themselves in position. Yeah. And then
the man walk in.
Yo, this dude just walked out so cool.
Yeah,
like,
smooth, regular, relaxed.
Smooth, like like a ball player.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely walk like a ball player.
50.
That's a whole fact.
And he walks to the front, and I was like in awe. But he's cool because he was on the podium, and then he comes down, and now he's coming to like shake everybody's hand. So me, I took my phone out. I opened that joint. Yeah. My joint was on Instagram. Yeah. Because I was like, I'm getting this pic. And I did the selfie fast.
So fast. You did it fast.
Clean, boom, sent my joint to Instagram so that way, even if they took my phone, I had the
already sent through,
or whatever.
So it was all good. You got it.
It was all good, but the dopest part about him is
see, that's that Mount Vernon shit. That's that about
we don't follow rules.
Exactly. We don't follow. We don't follow. No matter where we at, we gonna get out.
A little hard-headed. You know. So now he's shaking hands in the first row. I'm in the second row. I'm right behind my sergeant and my commissioner. He's shaking hands, and as he's getting to everybody, he's asking them, "Where you from?" And everybody's saying whatever. And vividly, he shakes Sergeant Carpenter's hand. And he's like, "Where you from?" She's like, "Mount Vernon, New York." And he's like, "Money earning Mount Vernon."
Yeah.
Wow. Like, he says it clearly. And then he's like, "My favorite rapper is Heavy D."
Wow. That's dope.
And then he goes to Sean and stuff. And
that's dope.
That was like kind of like a surreal moment.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you know, us being from the town,
absolutely.
like being in a town like this, where you already have a lot of celebs. You're not really like starstruck or whatever. Like that was like I was kind of stuck for a second. I wasn't that stuck because I made sure I got my picture.
You had to get your picture with Barack.
That was one of those moments like, yo, I'm in the room with Barack right now.
Yes. And yo, I remember real quick. So when Barack first won in 2008, I'll never forget. I was at Ricky Burton's spot. That's when he had the spot right there on Prospect.
On Prospect, yeah.
Right. And Ricky Burton had a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? And we was all in there to see who won. You know what I'm saying? So we all in there waiting. I'll never forget, like 11:30, they made the announcement, Barack won, and they had that song. It was like a certain song. I think Jay-Z made a song.
No, it was actually like an old school song
that
came in.
Yeah, it was a song for Barack.
Yeah.
And they played that, and it was just a real moment, because I think we was all in shock that a black person became president.
Everybody was in shock.
couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Then when he came out on a
yeah,
walkway, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was just like you said, a surreal moment. So yeah.
So I give you another. I got two though because I actually was able to go to the inauguration too.
Oh, that's dope.
And I went by myself.
The second one or the first?
The first one.
Okay, the first. Oh, so you was there when he walked out with
I was there.
Yeah.
I was in the purple. I was in the front. But I went out there by myself. I got
That's
hooked up
crazy.
from somebody from the Vernon. You know, we all got connects.
That's what's up. Everybody got
And
connects.
I went and I was able to I had a great time at the inauguration.
Okay, that's dope.
So
So that's dope. So so now Barack, he had his time, but you had your time too, and you did a couple of documentaries, right?
Yeah, I've been.
And that was the name was the Black Officers in Blue.
Black while wearing blue.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about that.
So that was with News 12. News 12 did a ride along,
right?
Which turned into a documentary with, at the time, Michelle Brown. I don't know if you remember her. Okay. She was the African American woman that was on News 12. Mm-hmm. So this was after the George Floyd event.
Okay.
So they wanted to get the opinion of African American officers. Okay. I think it stemmed from, I don't know if y'all remember, Mount Vernon was the first that we held a rally. Okay. Like as soon as it
just happened, right?
It just happened.
Okay.
And I spoke at the rally. So I think that's how News 12 picked it up. Picked me, like when they saw me speak at the rally, and then they got approved by the commission, and then they did a ride along with me for like 2 or 3 days in the car around Mount Vernon. Same thing that we doing now. I'm just telling my story, riding around, meeting people, different things, and long story short, it ended up winning 2 Emmys.
Shout out to you, man.
Shout out to Dave Clarke, winning Emmys, man.
It got nominated for 2, and then then we ended up winning the 2 Emmys.
How did that feel when you got that?
I mean, that feel kind of good because I'm kind of in a league in Mount Vernon. I'm in a league of my own right now because I'm the only non-actor from the town
that received
the Emmy. The only other 2 is Denzel
and
Art Carney.
Okay.
And then Dave Clarke.
Do you hear what's going on here, people?
You know what time?
Do you hear what's going on? We get Emmy Award people on the show, man. The Nothing But Love show, because we spreading love.
Yeah, so maybe I'll get an Emmy because
maybe
I bring that Emmy.
Hello.
Emmy.
And one thing we got to remember too,
for y'all,
which we forgot to touch bases on, is that you're a detective.
Yeah.
When did you become a detective?
I became a detective. It took me like 4.5 years. To become a detective.
Right. So he's not no regular police officer. He's a detective.
I've been a detective since like 2009.
Okay.
2009, 2010.
So quick question. So as a detective, we see all these TV shows. Have you solved like a big situation, crime or whatever, or it's just regular detective work?
Nah, I've assisted in solving homicides.
I'm talking about a big joint that you can remember.
Like big?
Big is like,
to me, homicides are big, and that's because that's a personal thing. That's how I lost my brother.
Okay, so let me rephrase it. Okay, let me rephrase
homicide, to me, that's big.
So a homicide that I guess caught a lot of media when it catches a lot of media, would you say, or no?
Nah. And those honestly, like for police work, that's
just TV stuff.
It's not even that it's TV. Like you're not in it to be like, yo, I want this case.
But it's like everyday stuff because you get this every day.
Because it could be every day. Like some things become more meaningful. That's more personal.
Right.
Okay, got you.
But like
especially being from the town, exactly.
Yeah, like with me as a cop too, my 2 pet peeves was robbery and murder.
Okay, got you.
Because that's how my brother died.
Right.
He got robbed and was killed.
Okay.
Right.
So yes, did I have a chip on my shoulder with stuff like that? Yeah. So.
Okay.
But as far as like cracking this and case and all of that, I mean, if I had to think of one, I got one. I have me and my old partner, Ronnie Williams. We have the only bank robbery, collar, arrest in progress in the history of the police department.
Okay.
And that was kind of like a crazy story. Like, actually kind of funny. Like,
Okay, gotcha.
because honestly, it's one of them things that, like you said, if I had social media, back then, based on how this one happened, I would have went super viral. We would have went super viral.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Because it happened over lunch. We was at the Chase Bank at 5th Ave and 1st Street, and we sitting there discussing what we want to eat. He went into the bank to get money. He comes out. As soon as he gets in the car, something came over the radio like, yo, Capital One Bank just got robbed. The one that was up, used to be on 2nd Ave.
And y'all in plain clothes now.
We in plain clothes. Okay. We at the light at 5th, where the bus stop is.
Right.
I'm in the bus lane, just parked, waiting for him to get in the car. And the car comes out. He jumps in the car. They like 2 men with masks running westbound on 1st Street, which is directly towards us. And lo and behold, it's 2 dudes with the Scream mask. The Scream, no, the movie The Town. They both got this mask on, so you can't tell if the person's black or white. The mask, and they running. They got the bags of money, and they running. And they literally running at us, and we both looking at each other like, oh, like, they right here.
Right now.
Turn the lights on.
You didn't even get a chance to eat your food. It's like
no, we didn't. We was about to go get food.
Oh, you about to go get it? Okay, right.
We didn't even do that.
Okay.
So they run up 5th Ave because we turned the lights on and chase him down. Old school policing, jump out. My partner jumps out. He grabs the first kid. He's down on the floor. Shout out to my man, Sergeant Patrick Gene Jerome. I don't know if y'all know Gene Jerome. His brother. He's a twin. Right. In Mount Vernon, his brother is a lieutenant.
Oh yeah. I know the twins.
Oh yeah, the twin. Yeah.
I think
the other dude is Pat.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Pat's my man. Pat's my guy.
Yeah.
So long story short, Pat is at the ATM on 5th Ave.
Yeah.
Unrelated.
Yeah.
While all this is going on, and the other kid, he's running up 5th Ave in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Pat's at the ATM.
Yeah.
The kid don't see him, so Pat's running on the sidewalk, and I'm in the car behind him.
Yeah.
So now the parking lot right by where Denzel Washington, the high school, old Washington school, the kid runs into the parking lot. So I dip in there with the car. Pat's still running. The kid don't see him. I drive all the way to the corner because he's trying to get to like the 2nd Street side by 6th Ave, so he can go out of there or jump. So I get the car, and then I jump out, stop the car, jump out, draw it down on him. Let me see your hands.
Yeah.
And he's standing there. He starts slowing down with the bag.
Yeah.
And word to mother.
Yeah.
Pat hit this dude so hard like Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Boom! And the money flew up in the air.
Yeah.
He always been in shape.
Money flew up in the air, so I holster. I run over. We cuff the dude. And as soon as we cuff him, like the money's flying and falling on the floor. All the kids from the this was like at school. So all the kids is like on the gate, security guards. And
okay.
And they all clapping like,
Oh, okay. I thought they was out grabbing the money.
Yeah. So imagine if that was like now. With cell phones.
Cell phones out.
That would have been
Yeah. That's stuff you see in the movies.
Right.
You don't see that in real life.
So now that you said, was this something?
Okay.
That's probably in my career. That's
one of those stories.
That's actually the craziest. Craziest. That I have today.
Gotcha.
What's up?
Okay.
So tell me about it's a program in Mount Vernon called Snug, and you're affiliated with that. Tell the people about that.
Well, I'm not really affiliated. Snug is Snug 209.
Okay.
Shout out to Rob, Henry Terry, Gorm.
Shout out to
MC Cav.
Cav.
Yes. Guam. Everybody. Yes.
Guam. Yes.
So Snug means guns. It's guns spelled backwards. Okay. And their initiative is to, one, try to get guns off the street.
Okay.
They're mediators of beef.
Okay.
In the street. So they don't work with the police. They don't work for the police.
Right.
They just
organization.
They try to mediate.
Almost like a guardian angel type of thing, but for Mount Vernon.
Exactly.
Okay.
To try to stop beef.
Right.
And then also not only stop beef, but then get people jobs or programs.
Okay. Yes.
Things that they need. So we just happen to work well because Henry's my man.
Yeah, Henry's from back in the day. Shout out to Henry.
Yeah. And Rob Carter, that's my man too. So we just collaborate on a lot of stuff.
Okay.
We all
Makes it easier.
brainstorm all the
Yeah.
time, having ideas. So that's one thing. When you see me doing a lot of community stuff, it's not just me.
Okay.
Like I partner with Snug. I partner with Jude, the kid that got the butterfly store on
Okay.
4th Ave. He's not even from here. He's from Brooklyn.
Okay.
But he's jumped all in to help.
Right.
I partner with my family at work.
Okay.
My little NWA crew. That's
Okay.
it's 10 black officers. NWA, Nubians
Right.
with attributes, not
Right.
the other NWA.
Okay.
Not that one.
Right,
the old
right,
school
right.
joint.
Nubians with attributes, people.
Get it right.
Let's get it right.
So it's the PDC Foundation. That's honestly, that's been my niche.
Okay.
Being able to network and just get people to come together. 914 Lock. I got to give a shout out to Sabrina Powell. 914
Okay.
Lock. So,
Shout out to her.
Yeah, like these toy drives and stuff like that. Montika Jones. Cynthia
Shout out to Montika.
Turquoise Jones. Books and Badges. We started that during COVID. It's so many things, but
Right.
I know I get awards and all of that, and people think it's just me, and it's not just me because
Right.
And
it's about collaboration
right.
all the time.
And speaking on awards, so you had numerous service awards, achievement awards.
Yeah.
The most recent was in December at Double Door.
At Double Door, that was.
Tell us about that
They
one.
did the Mount Vernon Awards, which I think was dope.
Right.
Shout out to Jacine Thomas
Jacine,
yeah.
okay.
and
Henry Joy's sister.
her partner.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm disrespecting.
Can't remember the name right now.
Can't remember your name.
It's all
but-
good. It's all
but
love.
yo,
Yes,
shout-
yes.
Shout out to them too for
Yeah.
even thinking of something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
the town needs it.
Right.
So they gave out these Mount Vernon Awards, and they was.
Oh, that was dope. Okay,
So-
that was dope.
How did that feel when you received the award? How did it make you feel?
It's always better when you receive awards from like your
At home,
peers
yeah.
and at home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Okay.
also your peers, because
Right.
you know, even with JC, like, and I spoke about it then, like, I grew up with that family.
Right.
I used to spend the night at their house when I played Razorbacks
Mm-hmm.
because the games were so early in the morning on Saturday. We would spend the night at their crib because they lived
Right there. That is
on California Road.
Yes.
And then we could just walk
Go walk right there.
to the house. So
Oh, that's dope.
I grew up in that
Oh,
house.
that's dope. That's dope.
For it to come full circle and the first awards to be the first one
Oh, that's
to
dope.
get the first award.
dope.
I mean, I felt that was dope. That was
Right.
one of the good ones.
That's
Okay.
dope. That's dope.
That's dope.
And then also with you had a physical education program at the high school with Officer Burns.
Well, actually, that was with the physical education teachers.
Okay.
They was doing some kind of dope at the high school. So they was
Okay.
bringing in different partners. So
Okay.
they brought in like the Army and the Marines and the fire department.
Okay.
And then they asked us to come in, and they wanted the kids to be exposed to other professions. Say college ain't it,
Right.
but
right.
then they wanted them to also know what they would have to do to get there.
Okay.
So we basically put them through the physical agility test
Okay.
that a police officer has to do
Okay.
right now with the high school. And at first, it's cool. I mean, I'm used to it now, like talking to youth and from working with at-risk youth all these years at Children's Village and Abbott House. Like, I don't care if the kids, when you first walk in, nobody really want to talk to police right away.
Right.
Right. Absolutely.
Until they understand
Understand what's
like,
going
yo,
on. And he's
just
actually
like that.
cool.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Stuff like that.
So when we first came in the room, every class, every time the period would change, they'd be all on the wall.
Yeah.
But then before it's over, they all doing the push-up, they doing the sit-ups,
Right.
they even doing the 1.5 mile run. So
Okay.
it's all about reaching the kids. But shout out to the Mount Vernon High School physical education teachers for thinking outside the box. Like that was actually kind of dope, and it was actually also dope because Officer Burns, Akeem, he's a bright rising star, and
In shape too.
in
Boy,
shape,
yeah,
super
boy,
in
work out,
shape.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those that is. I want to hold everything in. Like,
Right.
I know when it's time to start passing the torch.
Passing the
Because
torch.
my time is short
Yes.
Right.
as far as policing
Yes. Yes.
goes. You know, my time, like next year, I could hit my 20 and
Get
I
out of
can
there.
leave if I
what's
want.
up.
But who's gonna run with the
baton
if I decide to leave. So you know, pulling these young boys in, young officers in. So that was dope that he was there with me to see it, and they were just as receptive to him as they were to me. So that's honestly what I've been trying to look for within the department right now. Like hoping people step up and can keep it going and sustain it. The community policing, because it's a very, very important piece.
Right. I want to touch on something real quick for the viewers. Serious topic. So let's go back to the gun violence real quick. So, you know, you lost your brother to gun violence. So this is a two-part question. Do you get past the hurt? Does the hurt get better? And did you want to try therapy for the hurt? And what would you recommend when people go through situations like that? Do you recommend, you know, talking and stuff like that? Like, what do you recommend? So that's like kind of like a three-part question. But
so you never get past the hurt. Right. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't change. Some years is good. Some years I'll be good and I'm chilling, and then there's some years where you just like, damn, like, you know, you got a nephew,
right?
That you never got to meet.
You
know, like I have a granddaughter you never got to meet. Like when my brother passed, my daughter was 4. So, like, you never saw me get married. I never got to see you get married. Like, you know, so
it was only your two.
No, and my sister.
Okay, that's right. Sister.
I'm the oldest. We're 3 years. Everybody's 3 years apart. But then my sister's 6. She's the baby. So you don't get past it. For me, honestly, yes, had therapy, talking to people. I really don't have a problem. As y'all see, I could run my mouth all day long.
No question.
But I will say, when my brother first passed, and I have to give credit where credit is due. Me working at the group home was probably the best therapy. And it was those kids.
The kids, okay. Kept you
in that group home, that was my therapist.
Okay.
They was checking on me.
Yeah.
They were asking me, was I okay? Even at Children's Village, my coworkers and stuff like that. I mean, I think a part of therapy also is just me always being able to be outspoken about gun violence as well.
Right, absolutely.
Because even in my career, it's helped me. Because I know how to empathize with a family if something like that happens.
Right. You've been there.
I know the blue. I know the black book on that.
Right.
What's gonna happen? How it's gonna happen? The hurt, the pain. How the funeral happens, everybody's around, it's mad family and friends. As soon as that body go in the ground after the repast,
it's over.
Everybody go back to their own life.
Right. You're still there. Right, it's on you.
You gotta do it. So I think that's kind of how the cookouts, they kind of help, because then you relive the memory, but then also it became a reunion.
Right.
And honestly, the cookouts was that was something that Dev and Mancy.
Oh, Dev Mancy, right.
Mancy
True story.
Used to do for MD.
Right.
That passed away.
That's their man. Yeah.
God bless the dead.
Right, light skinned guy, right? Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Mark Holland. Shout out to the Holland family.
Yes.
So it was that.
Oh, so it started with them, and then you took it. Oh, wow. Okay.
No, me and Mans, we in my family, we
took it on.
Right,
kept it going. Right.
Kept it going for a minute.
Right.
And
that's what's up.
And right now, what he's talking about, so he throws big cookouts. What month is that? Like August? What month is that? Would you say?
Nah,
July?
September.
Oh, that's September, right?
August, September. It's always around Virgo
so
season.
He would throw a big cookout like every August. Nice cookout. Like he said, it's like a reunion. We all get together, laughing, joking, drinking, and just the classic memories just comes back, because iconic people from the town is there. So
and we definitely going to be soon doing the NuttinButLuv cookout.
Yes.
Along with Groovy Lou.
In collaboration, shout out to Groovy Lou in collaboration with him.
Coming up in
and then we all get together. Yeah. We work it. We got to sit down and talk to Groove about it.
Honestly, that's about collaboration.
Yeah,
collaboration. Yes,
we definitely working that.
It's grown.
Yeah.
We had simple rules for the cookout.
Yeah.
The rules was the fellas, y'all bring the liquor.
Yeah.
The ladies, y'all make the sides.
Yeah, that's
we got
it.
the rest.
That's it.
Right.
The burgers, the chicken, the hot dog. We got all of that. And that way we just you keep it going.
Nah, your cookouts was dope. Cookouts was dope.
You keep it
Okay.
going.
So this part of the segment is called Rapid Fire, right? Rapid Fire is where we ask you questions about a person, place, or thing, and you give me like what that person, place, or thing means to you in like a short couple of words.
All right.
Okay? So we're gonna start off. Meg the Stallion.
Meg the Stallion. Yo, I ain't even gonna lie, I don't really even listen to music.
Okay, that's good. That's a good response. Good response. Okay. Cat Williams.
Right now, he's hilarious, bro. He's hilarious.
Charleston White.
Kind of meatball to me.
Okay.
You know,
Draymond Green.
he need to slow down.
Yeah, he needs to slow down. I think so.
I don't want to mess his bread up.
I concur.
And his legacy.
Yes.
His legacy. He's good for the game, though.
Yeah, he's
slow
going crazy right now.
He got slow.
Okay, Jada Pinkett.
Oh, nah, she's wildin', bro.
Yeah.
She's wildin' for respect.
Yeah. Yes.
Stevie Wonder.
Iconic.
New York Knicks.
Bum juice. They doing all right now.
Yeah.
They always
We
get
need
your
a
hopes
little
up.
help. We missing something.
Because I ain't a Knicks fan.
Right.
Okay.
So you got the raw dude on the podcast for that.
Right.
I ain't a Knicks fan, but you know, the fans they delusional.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
what it is.
Cardi B.
Hustler.
Okay. KB Keith Evans.
My brother.
Yes.
My brother.
Okay. And last one is Mount Vernon.
Best place on earth.
There you go.
It's one of the dopest places to be, man.
And then I want to ask you a question also, because you know you really like an inspiration for the town. You've done a lot of good work for the town. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into the town. What message do you have for the youth of today? Like, what would you want to tell them? Like, you know, like what do you have for them?
See, the problem is with the youth that we got right now is everybody want to jump on the elevator and go to the top floor. Some people don't want to take the stairs.
Okay.
So they want everything fast.
Yeah, that's a fact.
They want it quick. And when you want things quick and fast, sometimes you get things that you're not ready for.
Yeah.
At least if you're taking the stairs, you're taking your time to get where you got to get.
Absolutely.
You're pacing yourself to get there. Then you have trials and tribulations to get there. I think that's like the biggest thing. Like for us, fortunately for us in our era when we grew up, because it's tough. It's tough. One of the main things I pay attention to is young kids don't work.
Yeah, we worked. I was packing bags of war bonds, shoveling snow,
Right.
doing all kinds. We did a mash when we was young.
Right,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and it's tough because how you gonna tell a teenager to work when he could be out here and he could scam
Yeah.
and he's making way more money than that $15, $16 that they just raised for minimum wage.
Yeah, that's a whole
So
fact.
it's tough. So I just, if I could tell them anything, slow down. Slow down. The egos, like this era, they don't fight either.
Yeah, they ain't fighting. And if they do fight, it's something coming behind it.
And fighting is healthy. It's a healthy thing. Like there's a reason why boxers,
Because you could live to see another day. That's why.
yeah, you could live another day. You know, it's.
That's like
But
in
you
Friday.
also you get all of that out of you.
Yeah, boxing is definitely good. Absolutely.
Sometimes you need that, and they have no idea of that era.
Nah,
that we
these young
grew up
kids,
in.
these young kids ain't fighting.
They're not
You
fighting.
know,
Yeah.
and
They not fighting.
they cannot be fighting just over a look, over a comment on a post.
Yeah.
Never seen you before, never met you.
Right.
They ready. They ready.
different.
Yeah.
Slowing down. That's why I tell old dudes, like, if you're going to intervene or talk to these kids, you got to really talk to them. And actually, they want to be talked to. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
But it's turned into a us against them. Like, oh, nah, them kids over there, they crazy. Let them crazy kids stay over there. As opposed to going over there and telling them, like, yo, y'all wildin'.
Yeah.
Like, stop. You know? And then having a conversation. So that's the toughest part, I think, with these kids right now. They just got to slow down because everybody want to make it to the top.
Right.
And then if you even tell them stuff about a job or working, they unrealistic. You got no experience. But you want to make 90,000.
That's true.
You know?
Right.
They
That's true.
That's a fact.
You know?
That's definitely true, man.
That's one of those things that I think for the youth, like, slow down.
Yeah. I also want to shout out the mayor, man, for getting reelected, man. Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
She's a great lady.
Shout out to
Mayor, yeah, she definitely did her
Madam
thing.
Mayor.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
You know, she did. She definitely helped us out with the City Fest.
It's probably my last mayor.
Right.
I can put that on record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. This is my last mayor
Yeah.
in my career.
Okay.
I don't know when the career ends.
Right. Probably so.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So, yeah, we're going to wrap it up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's another episode down, NuttinButLuv show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Dave Clarke, me and him go back, share memories, high school. I know his whole family. I used to hang out with his brother, Devon. I can remember when Devon first started hanging out with Eric Farrell. He started hanging with Mequan. Mequan had the big truck, the Yukon and all that. You know what I'm saying? Well, Eric Farrell had that, but it was all together.
Yeah, I mean, I came from an iconic block.
Right, yeah, because I forgot Eddie F is like down the block from y'all. Shout out to Eddie F too.
Yeah, shout out to Eddie F.
Eddie F, we need you on the show.
Yeah, we waiting for you.
All right,
Eddie,
show.
you need to come tell your story.
Yeah, tell your story, Eddie F. Yes.
He's actually the director of the orchestra in
true
the
story.
industry.
True story.
He's just a very humble guy.
Very humble, yes.
He's a very humble guy.
Yes, good guy.
Fortunately, like, I grew up around
Yeah,
Right,
for
right.
sure.
I grew up around that. Tour bus at the crib,
Yeah,
salt and pepper. We running around. We
Yeah,
not even paying attention.
yeah.
Not knowing who, LL. We not even paying attention who's on the bus.
Right,
Like,
right.
the bus is at Eddie crib.
That's facts.
That's what's
Everybody's getting picked
All
up.
facts.
So Eddie, come through.
NuttinButLuv show.
Yeah.
Eddie F, we need you on here.
Yes,
Y'all might gotta fly out.
Yeah.
Him and
Atlanta.
Al,
He's
he
in
could do a
Atlanta.
double show.
He's
Him
in
and
Atlanta,
Al,
right?
Sure. Nah, I think he in Texas.
Oh, he in Texas now.
Yeah.
But he was in Atlanta before.
Yeah.
Okay, he's in Texas now. Okay.
could-
Yeah, that would be dope. We might have to fly to Texas.
telling
Eddie, hit my line. Word.
So before we wrap up, let the people know where they could reach you at, you know, the different platforms you're on, different ways to get in contact with you if they need to.
Oh, okay. So, of course, you can stop on there. We open 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365, the Mount Vernon Police Department.
There you go.
For good business.
Yes.
Yes, for
yes.
sure.
Or on Instagram, I be the DOC. That's
Okay.
my tag. Or Dr. Cop.
Okay.
And
And then
that's
for the youth, with that police academy thing for the youth, how do they get in contact?
Oh,
with
the Youth Police Academy. It's always the first 2 weeks in August. It's free.
Okay.
It's a free camp. They normally could reach me via Instagram or Facebook. The city always puts it out as well.
Okay.
The only thing is seats are limited
Okay.
because it's the first 25 kids.
Okay.
And it's not your traditional Youth Police Academy. So
Okay.
it's not a boot camp. I'm not there to get your kids in order or none of that stuff.
Yeah.
We expose them a little bit to policing, but the majority of the camp has nothing to do with it. I
Okay.
bring in guest speakers from all over, from all walks of life, different professions, and that's what we do. We want
Right.
them to get a taste
That's what's
of
up.
all the things that's out there that they may not be exposed to. I mean,
Right.
honestly speaking, COVID messed everything up, man.
Yeah, it did.
Because
It did.
we used to go on mean trips. We be in Rock Nation, Viacom,
that's dope.
MTV,
Yeah.
Good
That's
Morning
dope.
America.
Okay.
I
remember that.
All of that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Shout out Good Morning America. Shout out to Dave Stanley. You know, he's sound dude
Okay.
for Good Morning America. He used to set that up, and
Okay.
he really used to have a good talk with the kids because there's so many jobs in Hollywood that our people don't know about.
Right.
That dudes are making big money
Right.
doing. and none of our people know about it. So,
right.
You know, that the Youth Academy, to me, the key thing is just exposure.
Right.
And that's what I do. So
that's what's up.
Is exposure to just different things.
Okay.
That's what's up.
So listen, another dope episode, Nothing But Love podcast. Dave Clarke. Check him out. Go to his Instagram, and we see y'all soon. Love y'all.
Peace. So right now, I'm working my man, Dave Clarke, his brand. Make sure you get his brand. Make sure you get his brand. And shout out to Dave because maybe...
Matter of fact, I'm standing next to Dave. You're talking about
Yeah. Shout out. Hey, man, let me get my words in, man. You make me mumbo jumbo and all that. So check it. 5 months into me doing Moneymike clothing, Dave hits me up and he's like, yo, Mike, I got some designs for you. He shot them to me. This is one of the designs. I had 2 more. I didn't know when I was going to use it. I used them like maybe a year later. The bag I got, that was his design. The puffy color letters, that was all from him.
That's what's up.
That's how we do them on Vernon.